Buddhism is not only philosophy and not only the way of life. It has its own doctrine and philosophy. Buddhism is one of great religions of the world such as Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Islam and smaller religions such as Baha'i. In Buddhism we don't teach about God because Buddhism is not a monotheistic religion. It is also not negative sotheriology as presented in the book Crossing the Threshold of Hope by the Pope John Paul II. Personally, I think that the Pope didn't write the chapter about the Buddha in this book alone, but that this was written by the Cardinal Ratzinger, who is in Vatican responsible for the interpretation of Catholic doctrine. Buddhism is not negative soteriology, and it's also not nihilism. Buddhism is the path where each being can attain state of enlightenment. It is the path or method for attaining Buddhahood, to become the same as Lord Buddha and all enlightened masters. The philosopher said that Buddhism for him is a philosophy and that he is skeptical about Buddhism as a religion. But Buddha Shakyamuni said, and this is known to all practicing Buddhists, for a being who doesn't have faith, it's like if somebody would like to sow a burnt seed and then expect that green plant would grow from this burnt seed. Logic tells us that nothing can grow from burnt seed. In this symbolism, the seed represents our Buddha nature. We can awaken the seed of Buddha nature in ourselves with the help of faith. This faith is not a blind faith, but kind of confidence in our potential. If we wish to awaken potential of our enlightened nature and purify all obscurations, to accomplish this seed, that it will flourish as very beautiful lotus flower, we need confidence and help of an enlightened teacher. Buddhism is against our selfishness. Buddhism is the only religion that goes against human selfishness. Meditation is very important, like meditations on loving kindness, meditation about natural sound of Dharmata, and others. All these meditations lead us toward the state where we become less selfish. It's not enough to speak about compassion, kindness, and love toward others. This would be too superficial. We don't want so much to convert others to Buddhism. We wish that Buddhist teachings survive and continue in 21st century in an authentic ways, and that Buddhist teachings would not be clouded by race, nationality, social position, and politics. All authentic Buddhist masters teach Buddhism without these obscurations, and they point out directly your enlightened nature. Therefore, Buddhism is universal, not because it would be fancy fashion of some Hollywood actors. Buddhism is very practical. It's practical path. It's not only philosophy. We also spoke about ego from the Madhyamika point of view. Buddhism is practical path toward enlightenment, to realize one's own potential of goodness and wisdom. In Buddhism, we teach about three poisons. Ego exists because of ignorance, unawareness, or marikpa. Aspects of this unawareness are attachment to somebody and aversion toward other. These can be objects or beings. Buddhism is practical teachings how to purify these three poisons. Buddha Shakyamuni was not a political activist. He was also not only a human rights fighter for improving relative circumstances in which people live and where Buddhism developed. Buddhism was apolitical. The Buddha is enlightened master. There are a lot of Buddhist sacred texts. One of them is Buddhist text by Longchen Rabjam, Three Rests in Dzogchen. This is ancient Buddhist text in Tibetan. There is also the book White Sail by Kyabje-Thinley-Norbu-Rinpoche. In it there is a big chapter about cleaning deviations of Western philosophers, theologists and others. One of these sacred texts is Bardo Todol, or Tibetan Book of the Dead. It means liberation through hearing in the Bardo state. This is handbook for guiding consciousness of deceased being through the Bardo states. It's also very precious handbook for realization of enlightenment. In Buddhism, there are different levels of understanding. You mentioned aversive attitude toward women, which is characteristics of Theravada Buddhism. Lord Buddha was first against accepting women into his community or Sangha, but this is understanding on the Theravada level, old school of elderly. There are also Mahayana and Vajrayana orders of Buddhism, where women are theoretically equal. There should be no discrimination. We can become Dharma teachers, nuns, and lineage holders. The main point in family life is not to be attached to phenomenal world, to what I see, hear, to opinions of others and one's own thoughts. Our beingness must be guided by wisdom and awareness.